when we laid Martin Luther King to rest, these kind of days were behind us.
I didn't know I was going to be 53 years old and fighting for Brown versus Board of Education and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Those are the things that we are fighting for now. Voting rights for all, and we don't want the schools resegregated because people paid too much.
Before the Civil Rights Movement, you have to recognize that in the southern states, 90% of blacks could not vote. But also, partly because of the way disenfranchisement took place, the vast majority of poor whites could not vote either. What we're trying to do in this situation is to mobilize those people who are centrists and who recognize the value of a stability in the economy and politics, who recognize that right-wing legislation is going to undermine their ability to be prosperous, to build their businesses, to bring new people in, et cetera, et cetera.
Nurses in one of the gals' cars. Over me!
You know, 23 richest people in the state benefit because of the tax cuts, et cetera. But most people who are running large corporations, the people who run Research Triangle Park, the people who run the big businesses in Charlotte, they're not going to benefit from this. Basically, they're going to have disruption, they're going to have chaos, and they're not going to have a state which is going to attract more investment and more people coming in to start new businesses because these people are afraid of what they're seeing happen.
Certainly a lot of the tensions in North Carolina came from the fact that North Carolina voted for Obama in 2008. There was a tremendous voter registration drive, get out the vote. African Americans, young people voted in large numbers. And I think one of the things you're seeing right now with the General Assembly is, they were frightened, they were shaken by those facts. And they see a need, if they're going to remain in power, to really curtail the voting participation of the elderly, of African Americans and young people. And they're pushing policies and laws that will do just that.
They're trying to do away with early voting, outlawing Sunday voting. They're really making it difficult for college students to vote. That's an attack on our public civic culture. And if we lose that, it will be very difficult to change anything else.
They've already voted to deny federal funds for Medicaid to 500,000 poor North Carolinians. Some of them black, some of them white, some of them Latino, some of them Republican, some of them Democrat. 500,000. They've raised taxes on 900,000 of North Carolinians' poor and working people by ending the earned income taxes so they could pay for 23 millionaires to get a tax cut. They do not want the people to vote because they know if the people will vote, the people will examine all these public policies, decisions that they have made, and their narrow-minded, regressive agenda will not have a chance in the public arena.
Tell me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
Tell me what hypocrisy looks like!
That is what hypocrisy looks like!
Tell me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
Tell me what hypocrisy looks like!
That is what hypocrisy looks like!
I'm Landon Gamble, and I'm here because it's time for the people to take back our state.
I'm Julie Peoples. I'm a pastor at UCC Church in Greensboro, and I'm here because I follow Jesus and his way of justice, and this is unjust.
I'm Dr. Crable. I'm a pediatrician, and I'm here because I'm concerned about the actions of the General Assembly and their detrimental effect on children.
Poor whites in particular, they've gotten turned out of the mill. Those things are all gone. All gone. So poor whites are in a tough spot here, and we have to be sympathetic. But the legislature has refused federal money for unemployment insurance for 165,000 North Carolinians who've been out of work for a long time, and their families got to eat. We've got counties with 40% of the children have insecure food, sometimes don't get to eat. You know, that can change, but if we lose the ballot, if the ballot is denied to the elderly, to minorities and the poor and to college students, then money wins and people lose.
It seems as though this group wants to pass all these negative policies to hurt poor people, hurt poor, hurt sick, hurt unemployed. And then they woke up and said, but wait a minute, if we hurt all these people, they might judge us in the ballot box. Because you know, it's 565 days from today. It's almost like they said, we pass all this negative stuff, they might wake up. You know, they might not wake up till July 2nd when they lose their unemployment. And they might not wake up till January 1st when they lose their Medicaid, but they just might wake up. So we've got to guard against that. So now what we're gonna do is roll back the only tool people have. They don't have money, don't have lives, don't have, to equalize this democracy. And that is the right to vote.
The kind of limitations on voting, the kind of lowering of taxes, government spending, are reminiscent of what segregationists put in place in the early part of the 20th century.
I mean, honestly, it isn't like getting beaten. It's not that big of a sacrifice. That's why I think more people should do it. You know, it's doable. It's a doable way to raise your civic voice. And the video of why I got arrested, my students are sending that all over. They're proud. I think people want some inspiration, and I think they are finding inspiration from this.
We are getting some good publicity. We're getting an awful lot of people willing to join us, an awful lot of people ready to get arrested.
The community of people, the alliances across race, socioeconomic class, gender, profession, residence is really remarkable. So I think it's a very broad-based alliance, and that's what the conservatives are most frightened about.
And the governor said, not my words, in the quote, he said, this was a necessary evil. I wasn't going to bring up the word evil today. But no evil is ever necessary. Evil is a choice. Hurting people and taking resources from workers and telling people they don't need $350 a month to survive, cutting unemployment while giving your new appointees a raise. That's a choice. It's not necessary evil, it's unnecessary injustice, it's unnecessary meanness, it's unnecessary wrong, it's Robin Hood in reverse, it's morally unconscionable, it's constitutionally inconsistent, and it's economically insane.
The South is the crucible where freedom has been hammered out. This is the struggle. It's always about what happens here. You know, as the South goes, so goes the nation, so goes the world. See, this fusion movement that's going on, black and brown and white, gay and straight, this is a very important historical moment, not just in North Carolina, but I think what happens here is going to be very important in the history of this country.